the car only have 2 support braces. It has one big one here, that's one piece solid, and then they have a smaller one here. First, you want to notice the cuts that they had. For whatever reason, they were trying to clear something, so they made a relief cut for clearance. Also here, they cut out, you know, a 8-inch portion, 10-inch portion of the brace here for relief. It probably was rotted out. Everything that you see brown, that's surface rust that has already started on the new metal that they used when they was attempting to repair this floor pan. What's even worse, if you look at this patch pan, it actually is a blue door. Like, this is a part off of a car. This blue, the only reason why it's not rusted like that is because it's painted. This is a piece off of another old car that they used to patch the floor with. So Professor Yahweh, I know right now you want to give me a hug, brother, and I receive it. You know what I'm saying? This is what you don't want. Like, we've been getting, like I said, a lot of inquiries. Matter of fact, thank you guys for all the guys that support the channel, for all the people that come here for knowledge. They even just give me a call, asking questions. You know, people, I got some guys in California considering sending a car to the shop. Like, you know how many shops you got to go past from California to get the VTSV Auto? So I salute. I appreciate, you know that we take that as a compliment here. You know, that's just like guys from Miami that choose to bring their car here. I like that because in Miami, they heavy on the car culture. It's cars, it's shops out, you know, in Miami that does quality work. So when they bring it here, that means we really earn somebody respect, you know, coming from a meticulous car building, you know, culture in Miami that they have. So salute to, you know, everybody that support the channel and want to bring a video in. But I think it's very good to show you stuff like this for those guys that are considering to bring a car to VTSV Auto, because you guys see how detail oriented we are here at VTSV Auto. But if you look at this floor pan, like, this is not only bad work, everything that they did is going to have to be redone because it's rusted out, but it's also not structurally safe. They attempted to weld the piece back in here on when they cut the brace, but this piece, you're like, you know, this is totally unacceptable because this is the main, you know, on my Cadillac, the floor pan has 4, maybe 5 braces by the time you get to the trunk. This size spaced out. This one got 1 wide one and 1 small one in the back. So in the 70s, from the 60s when my car was made, they was trying to lighten the load and, you know, gas savings, so they didn't want you to have a 5,000 pound car. You know, this is how they got it down to 4,000 pound. They kind of, you know, skipped on the support metal, you know, so you don't want to, you know, mess with the support metal because you're already limited right now with it, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna flip it over real quick for you guys just to show you. This is what we mean by bondo. All of this is bondo. We just was, you know, shaving it to see what was good. We didn't even shave this part over here because we got to the idea to know we were just gonna take the whole piece out. But they bondoed everything to hide the bad work that they did on the patch pan, and it looked a little smooth, which is why Professor Yahweh didn't know exactly how bad, and he heard that the floor pans was done, and they was, but the thing was, my brother, they wasn't done right. No worries. Hashtag we got you, brother, at VTSV Auto. So we stripped this part, and as you can see, the rest of all of this is bondo. So instead of us, you know, spending more than, you know, 10, 15 hours of what we already had in it to get it to this point, we already knew we was gonna cut the rest of the metal out and use other floors. So we just cleaned only the areas where we were cutting it, like so to speak. If you notice on this, all of the edge work is clean here because that's where we cut it. We didn't necessarily keep cleaning all this because we knew we was gonna cut all of that out. He had a complete floors in, you know, pretty good condition. A lot of the stuff that you see is surface rust on it, so it's not as bad as you think. And then the areas what was on the car that we noticed were good where we're gonna weld it in at. Red's gonna get a hammer and beat all of the areas that's bad and just double check to see if anything is weak, because if it's weak, the hammer's gonna break through that metal. So obviously most, you know, like I said, 90% of it's good. It is a couple things that we're gonna do. We're gonna strip it, take it to our strippers, strip everything, to get all of the corrosion and, you know, muck and dirt and paint off, just get it down to clean metal. And then we'll, you know, etch it, prime it, but we are gonna disassemble it like it was from the factory. Like these are the outsides of the rocker panels, what I showed you on the inside of the car. The floor pan actually welds, is spot welded through this line here, all the way up. So this is why we had to cut this piece to get access to where the weld line is. So we're gonna separate that. Once we clean it, we're gonna drill those welds, we're gonna separate that piece, and we're gonna put that piece in. We're gonna separate it here from that firewall piece, and we're gonna put it in just like it was from the factory. But we gotta fix the front of the firewall here and the part right here, and then we'll be able to go in with it. You know, everything from this brake line forward is considered part of the firewall, which comes up right behind the engine. You know, your floor pan actually goes from this brake line all the way back to that brake line there, and then from there, the hump goes down to the trunk floor. So everything from there up is considered the trunk floor. So, you know, we're building the car for somebody who wants a one-off project. You know, he don't want it. It's not like he's trying to spend $1 million on the car, but he want it done right. So this is the right way to do it if you have the tools to do it. I told somebody today, we were talking about working out, like don't use a weed eater to cut your grass. The weed eater is not designed to do that. It makes you using the right tool for the right job. So if they have the correct tools, then you'll give us the ability to do it the right way. If we have patch pans, we can do it just as good. Just know the patch pan is only going to cover the 4-foot area. 1, none of this is in it. 2, and on the other side as well. But this whole strip that goes on top of that brace that you've seen on the other one, that is, they don't make a replacement piece for that. You know, they don't make this. So you have to, 1, manufacture it by hand, or 2, get lucky like Mr. Yahweh did, Professor Yahweh, and find this. You know, you can get these out of the 2 doors, you know, but the value of these cars are so much. You know, people paying, you know, $2,000 and $3,000 for pans. You know, with the trunk pan, you know, they add more to that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that goes into it. But 1, if you get lucky enough to find one, and 2, you can afford the price that they ask for one that's not rotted out. This is the way to do floor pan replacement, you know, VTSV Auto Style. This is a piece that they added to the floor. All of these are the original grooves, the bends that the factory put into the sheet metal of the floor for more strength. This area is where they cut out the metal and welded the piece in, but you can see it's tack weld. It's not continuous weld all the way through, making it one solid piece. The reason why they didn't do a continuous weld is because of the time and hours that goes into it, more than doing a tack weld. Tack weld, you probably welding, you know, 1/3 to 1/2 as much as you would do on a full continuous weld all the way around. You know, like I said here at VTSV Auto, we're not really our price conscious when we're trying to deliver a product. We're trying to deliver you a piece of art. Now, whatever, you know, however long it take to do it to what we consider the right way, that's what we're gonna do. We're not trying to milk the cloth, we're trying to get at it. I think this is a perfect topic because I've been getting a lot of calls about pricing. There's a lot of people on the brain card, so it's good to kind of show you where you can know an apples to apples comparison on what's actually going on at VTSV Auto, and when you try to compare other numbers and shops that you talk to, make sure they're not doing this kind of work. And if you're going to compare it to what we're doing, because that's not our style of work. But we didn't know exactly how bad it was. We had a couple options. We could have tried to save the work they did, finish continuous welded, but if you see all this white stuff on it, what is that? That's Bondo. They use Bondo as a seam sealer to fill in the tack welds because it's not continually welded, to avoid water from getting back in the car. But so now we had to strip the whole floor to get to the bottom of what's underneath it. What they did was put Bondo all over the whole floor, and I'm gonna show you more when we get to the original floor, to cover up the weld lines and where you wouldn't know that it was, you know, what type of job was done to it. They hid it with the Bondo. So we had to first clean and prep all of the metal to be able to know what's good, what's bad. We had to strip it clean to then get it down to all of the factory welds that you see here, and then we drilled out the support brace, and that's some of those pieces over there on the ground. You know, that's the last pieces after we cut the majority of the pieces out that's still attached to the old floor pan. So it's a lot to it. I hope you guys following me what we got going on here, but we actually finna do a nice job on it. This here is bad, so Red's gonna make that area first, make this area here, because I said from the brake line forward, all of this is your firewall up. So we can't put the floor pan in the car until we repair the firewall, which is what the floor pan welds to. So we gotta fix all of this. This piece we could source from that floor, but we got to clean this, weld it in, fix it. Got a little area here we got to investigate. This has to be fixed, made, welded in before we actually can put the floor in. We already got everything out. We got everything clean. You know, now we made our relief cuts from the support braces here, you know, to give us access to the back panel that we took out separately. We first took the main floor out. Once we realized that was just as bad, we took the rest of that out and made the decision we just gonna go in with a whole complete floor. But we're gonna do it VTSV Auto style, so you guys stay tuned to that. These are your rocker panels here. Here and here. You know, those rocker panels are great. They weld in up top, they connect to your firewall. This is a major support piece, structural piece for the car. You can see it's solid. You know, all of this, once we clean it up, we got videos of it when it first started, you know, so to get it to this point, you know, this is a hell of a lot of work to get it to this point. You know, we had to, you know, cut this, as I said, to get access to this, to be able to get the floor out like we wanted, and then we're gonna weld it back in to the same line factory as it was when it was brand new. So, yeah. All of this stuff was clean, investigated. So everything on the outside is good, metal, you know, so now we can just lay the pan in and just weld it up on the edges, clean everything up, and then once we get further along with the car, we'll put it on the rotisserie, flip it, and then finish, you know, continuous welding from the bottom. But it's not each pan here, a pan here, you're just gonna do the whole outside line, and everything else is solid on the inside, you know, one piece like it was brand new. So there's a lot of work. You can see it's rusted out here. If you remember TY car, we had to cut the cowl just to get access because all of this is welded to the car, you know. And then another thing was, if you're gonna look in the video, they had the Dynamat on top of all of this bad Bondo. So we had to first remove all of this gummy this gummy Dynamat sound deafener, that's what it is. First, clean that off, then we had to get through the Bondo to know what's under there. And then once we got half the floor out and seen how bad the patch pans was on the bottom side, and we realized the back side was the same way, we knew we had to do the whole thing. So we're gonna do it VTSV Auto style, full 4-pan replacement. They don't make these pans, so you do have to source it. This is why it's not done a lot. A lot of people just buy the patch pans and then we could just build the rest of the things. But for a seamless look, finish, this is the way to go. So stay tuned. We got some good stuff cooking for y'all guys. I'm very excited about this build to show y'all this. Like, watch the numbers. I hope the Donk culture pay attention to this. So, and we got some good news coming up. Those prototype orders, thanks for those guys that called in to order the prototype. My buddy in Cali ordered one. There was another gentleman called in and ordered some parts. So shout out for everybody that do. You know, we only can go as far as you guys support us. So everybody that do take time out, trust us, spend us, give us a bill to build. Everything that y'all do to trust VTSV Auto to help us go up, we appreciate that. Like, we're gonna keep on pushing until we get to the top. Until y'all say, y'all just need to stop. You just need to cut it out. You know what I'm saying? That's when we'll stop, okay? That's what we're trying to make you say. Tell your daddy about us, man. Tell your uncle and everybody, man. We some bad people at VTSV Auto. Ray, my brother.